place you wanna go. Find a natural way of living, waiting just outside your door. Every day's a new adventure, and it's right before your eyes. Spend a little time on Tennessee's wild side.
Hello everybody, I'm Janet Ivey.
And I'm Bill Cody. Welcome in.
When it comes to size, Tennessee's 42,000 square acres rank only 36th in the nation.
But with nearly 4,000 species of wildlife, our state ranks in the top 15 for biodiversity.
I'd say mile for mile, we've got more wild than most.
And that doesn't even count the people. Add another 138 human residents for every square mile, and it's easy to see why it's getting harder and harder to find space for everybody, humans and wildlife. That's why it's more important than ever before to protect wild areas. Wildside guide Ken Tucker and photojournalist Barry Cross met some people who are working to do just that as they joined them on a Saturday hike to Virgin Falls.
The Virgin Falls trailhead is a busy place this morning, but nobody here is in a hurry. For these hikers, the journey is the destination.
It's an 8-mile hike, 4 miles in, 4 out. See 4 waterfalls: Little Laurel, Big Laurel, Sheep Cave, and Virgin Falls.
Man, I can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday than out in the woods. A person should never pass up the opportunity to come see what's here for us all.
This is Scotts Gulf, a 21,000-acre river canyon where the eastern highland rim meets the Cumberland Plateau. It is a rugged land of rocks and woods and flowing waters.
They call this the land of falling water. And anywhere around here you can find waterfalls. It's really one of the only places you can go without going to the Smoky Mountains for this type of wilderness.
But for some, what's amazing about this land is the potential for development: coal, timber, home sites, golf courses. It's a vision for the future these hikers hope never becomes real.
Where we live, probably a long time ago, there were these wildflowers. But we just don't see these things where we live now. If anybody would just look around and see what we do in some places, the litter, the destruction, the clear cutting, all those things, you can just say, hey, we really need to keep some of this like God intended it to be, you know, kind of special.
We're only caretakers here, and so oftentimes the best way to take the best care of something is just to let it alone.
Look at this day, look at this area. I want to make sure that my grandchildren have this opportunity.
Once the roads and the power lines go in, it doesn't stop. There's no reversing fragmentation of the wilderness.
We just shouldn't destroy what needs to be preserved.
This concept of conservation has motivated them to join the Tennessee Parks and Greenways Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to preserving the state's natural treasures.
The foundation is an effort to take what's here for all of us, Tennessee's great natural and historical legacy, and pass it through our generation to the generations that follow us.
Places like Scotts Gulf. Today's hike is through the Virgin Falls State Natural Area, 1,100 acres of protected land that adjoins the Bridgestone-Firestone Centennial Wilderness, nearly 10,000 acres that is also protected. But much of the land is still at risk.
There are still areas that are not protected. We're actively working to acquire those, and so that we can maintain this as a wilderness. What we want to avoid is fragmentation, to where someone could come in and put in a home and really degrade the wilderness feel of the area.
So far, the foundation has helped purchase nearly 3,000 acres of now publicly owned land in Scotts Gulf. Their long-term goal is to create a protective corridor on the Cumberland Plateau.
But we're on a project to connect Fall Creek Falls with Scotts Gulf. Fall Creek Falls is carved out by the Cane Creek. Scotts Gulf is carved out by the Caney Fork River. There's a confluence not far from here, and our vision is to connect these areas with protected land.
Protecting land here in Scotts Gulf and across the state comes at a cost. these citizens are willing to pay.
I like to support people who are supporting our environment. We're talking about giving time, giving money, and having faith that together we can make it a much better world.
And we have members who give $20 and we have members who give $20,000. So it's a whole range of people who are donating, and they're all working to leave a legacy.
I think that it's extremely important that folks join the effort in whatever way they see fit or whatever way they can.
It all adds up. Every dollar helps us incrementally buy acres of land.
Protecting the land is only part of the process. The ultimate goal is for people to experience these wild areas.
People should come and see it.
I think, it recharges people's batteries. So we want people to go out and enjoy these things. We don't just want to lock up a piece of land and preserve it.
If you don't know they're there, you don't miss them when they're gone. So we do urge people to get out and take these hikes, enjoy nature, and contribute to nature.
We've all got this wonderful opportunity. Maybe we don't take advantage of it each and every day, but it's always here for us. And that's important, just knowing that it's here. God help us if it ever just dissipated completely.
Knowing that it's here is important to those who have journeyed to these falls today. Their hope is that it will continue to be important to the people who walk the trail behind them.
When you tell people about Virgin Falls, how it comes out of a cave, falls 110 feet and back into another cave, they have a hard time imagining what that looks like. That's why we're working so hard to save these places, because we want future generations to not only be, impressed by the waterfall, but to think, wow, these people 100 years ago had the foresight to protect these areas.
I'm Ken Tucker on Tennessee's Wild Side.
Visit our website at tnwildside.com to learn more about Virgin Falls, Scotts Gulf, and the Tennessee Parks and Greenways Foundation.
The foundation currently has nearly 1,000 members, everyday people making a difference for future generations.